Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Amazon! That's right, we're back with more Kamen Rider Amazon, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, what a crazy surprise it is. We're back into doing Kamen Rider Amazons. And of course, this is a Halloween surprise for you guys because, what is Halloween without a little bit of macabre? And, of course, there's also 2 chances of winning a Ranger Stop Pass for Orlando, Florida, November 10th to the 12th, because we want to maximize your chances of winning. And I did promise you guys that we would continue doing Amazon sometime in October. I'm a man of my word. I should apologize that I procrastinated extensively. How extensively? It's October 31st, literally the last day of the month. I've made so many jokes about Bayonetta 3 doing the exact same thing, but Bayonetta, at least it was released in the fall and not December 31st. But this, it's I promised you guys that this show would resume in October, but I did not expect it would be the last day of October. But here we are. And again, if you want to win a chance to go to Ranger Stop, all you got to do is go to the chat box while we are live. Comment. You'll be eligible to win. And of the people eligible, all you got to do is answer a Power Rangers question, not a Kamen Rider question, not a Sentai question, not an Ultraman question, not a Ryukendo question, not a Sailor Moon question, not a Ninja Turtles question, a Power Rangers question. TV show, not even the Boom Studio comics, so don't worry. Not even the 3 movies that came out, or even whatever remakes will come out in the future. No, just the standard 30 seasons of the TV show. So answer the trivia question, you will end up winning. And Amazons, we are back right at it. Of course, I got my favorite Kamen Rider Amazon t-shirt, to commemorate this occasion. And I know we're doing this early in the morning. Not early in the morning, it's 11:40 Pacific Standard Time. So it's afternoonish for you guys. I hope you guys are having a happy lunch. But the reason we're not doing this in the evening is so that you guys can enjoy your Halloween festivities without having to worry about, oh my god, am I missing an episode of Morphin Network? No. I mean, although you guys might be at work, so you're still probably gonna miss it, but that's why you got the headphones on. You're listening to me, my beautiful voice in the background, while you're probably doing mundane office work, or maybe you're just eating salad at the teacher's lounge if you're a teacher, or whatever other profession you have. More power to you. So Kamen Rider Amazons. The episode we're doing today is where we left off, episode 22 and 23, Vanishing Wings and Way to Nowhere. And it's been a while. I made it no secret when we were originally doing Kamen Rider Amazons back in April, which was the last day we've actually done Amazons. And hold on, give me a second. Here it is. Back in April was when we did episodes 20 and 21. It's been a while, and I made it no secret that Amazon's the new remake Amazons is not particularly my favorite series. Don't get me wrong, I love 1974 Kamen Rider Amazon, the original, where Daisuke is from the Inca tribe, and he came to Kobe Harbor and whatnot. But this series I'm not as big of a fan of. And honestly, I'm not as big of a fan of Black Sun as I am of the 1987 Kamen Rider Black. I don't know, what is it about the dark and gritty remakes of Kamen Rider that makes it less fun than watching the original kids show version. I don't know. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the season and how do you think it compares to the original Amazon if you've had a chance to see it. I know the first 2 episodes are out there on YouTube. But yeah, I could go into the whole conversation about the time I met Adi Shankar and how you read that one paper I wrote about that certain 5-minute video he made. And here's the thing. It's like, it's not that I have a preference for the fun, campy style of shows. Otherwise, I would have no problem watching Kira Majors or Go Sager or even Kamen Rider Gotchard, I guess. Is Gotchard happy-go-lucky? I don't know. But the thing is, but I also don't like things too dark and gritty either, if I'm being completely honest. Like, again, the case in point, I'm not a fan of Power Rangers. I respect Adi Shankar for like the cultural critique that he was trying to make by making that project, which is outlined in my essay that I wrote, got graded on, and he read later on in 2018. But yeah, I'm not a fan of dark and gritty remakes of stuff either. I mean, like people always say, "Oh, Power Rangers needs to be more mature for a more mature audience." But the thing is, are we really going to pretend like Time Force wasn't mature? Are we going to pretend that Lost Galaxy wasn't a mature season? Are we going to pretend that RPM wasn't a mature season? Again, post-apocalyptic future run by machines, not too distant future. You got a cyborg character questioning his humanity, really, and you got a human who holds themselves accountable for the extinction of humanity. Really, that's not mature enough for you guys. But somehow, the Machine Empire taking over and Zack getting shot in the back of the head after like doing drugs, like that is what we really need, right? No, but there's like other remakes of stuff that like were like that I was just not a fan of that had dark and gritty remakes, like Fantasy Island, for example. That's like the first one off the top of my head. I know there were others. I can't really remember. Now, Dark Knight, it was good. It was good. Like I had no problem with Dark Knight because it was more of a crime story than it was a superhero story. Man of Steel, not a fan. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm just not a fan of the plot around it because Superman's supposed to be all bright and hopeful and awesome and like he can't do no wrong except when he can, but he holds himself accountable. But man, so much collateral damage in that movie, so much so that they played off of that in the sequel, Batman v Superman. Can we do a mature Kamen Rider? Well, obviously, we've had Kamen Rider the First, which was pretty decent film, if I'm being honest. Shin Kamen Rider, the new one, the 2023 Shin Kamen Rider, that movie was actually not bad. Like we've already discussed that movie earlier. We did a review of it back in May. That movie was fun. It had its flaws, but it was still palatable, But I don't know. And the thing is, for Black Sun, it's not the politics that made it hard to watch. It's more so the pacing. And I think the problem with Amazons is also the pacing. Honestly, I think Amazons is harder to watch than Kamen Rider Black Sun, just because Black Sun, at least it's 10 episodes. Amazons is 26 episodes and a movie. So there's like a lot more to that, and also, at least the characters in Black Sun are more likable. Like a lot of people could relate to Kotaro, Nobuhiko, Aoi. I forgot his name. The Sparrow dude who gets. I'm not gonna say. Just episode 7. Like if you know, you know. But here it's like I feel like I can't really relate to most of the characters here. I mean, at most maybe Kota in one particular episode, but I just never got into Haruka in season 1, but I respected his character development, and he did have character development. Chihiro had no character development up to this point, and I just really can't stand by how annoying and whiny he is. He's basically Haruka 2.0. That's my assessment of the character. He's Haruka 2.0, but with less character development, if for no other reason. He doesn't have Mamoru to work off of. And also, what happened to Mamoru, my poor sweet cinnamon roll? I mean, we all know what happened to him. Like, we've seen the end of the first season. We've seen the first half of the second season. But honestly, as far as characters introduced in season 2 go, I think the only character I really like is Banjo. I know that's not his real name, but he does become Banjo in Kamen Rider Build. But I'm going to be honest, I feel like he's the only character introduced in season 2 that I actually like. You know, it's like... And I know Jared, if he was here, he would make the argument, Amazons crawled so that Black Sun could run. Yeah, I know he would make that argument. And yeah, Ryuki crawled so that Dragon Knight could run. But this is just... I'm struggling to get into it. But okay, so it's been 6 months since our last video. So for anyone who hasn't refreshed themselves on the show so far and need a refresher up to this point before I get into these 2 episodes, I'm going to go through this real quick. So, Season 1, we got a pharmaceutical company that's creating superhuman entities known as Amazons, which are mutated from humans due to Amazon cells. There are 4,000 patients that we know of, but there could be possibly more. The main character, Haruka, is also an Amazon, but he's not aware of it yet, and he also happens to be the son of the person in charge of the company. When he awakens his Amazon cells, he helps an extermination squad fight off 2 of the Amazons, but now he is conflicted about his identity. There is another Amazon named Jin who has a philosophy about only eating that of which that he kills, which honestly I kind of respect that kind of philosophy unless you're a cannibal. He takes him under his wing only temporarily, and his wife Nanaha allows him to get a belt, which allows Haruka to become Kamen Rider Amazon Omega, while Jean is Amazon Alpha. The 2 of them fight it off a little bit because Jean wants to kill all Amazons indiscriminately, and with himself being the last one, he's obviously going to kill himself, blah, blah, blah. But he gets captured by the company, but then he escapes. Haruka, in order to be able to get immunity, he has to join the extermination squad. He makes friends with the extermination squads. One of the members of the extermination squad is Mamoru, who is the mole imagine. Not a mole imagine. What am I saying? I'm talking about Dano. No, he's the mole Amazon, and yeah, they like to eat cheeseburgers, which is adorable. But then there's this giant. But then there's like an incident involving a pig Amazon, a lobster Amazon, where Haruka starts to question whether Amazons are just innocent people that just want to live their normal lives, but can't help the fact that they need to eat humans in order to obtain the necessary proteins in order to survive. So, with all that going on, the pharmaceutical company creates Talok, which is a drug mist, which is supposed to cause all the Amazons to melt away. Unfortunately, Mamoru ends up eating the flesh of one of his teammates, causing him to become a full-fledged Amazon, and he makes a run for it. Haruka manages to escape, no problem, but Jean gets caught in the crossfire because he just wants to fight Amazon, so his face gets half melted. The three of them confront each other with the realization that there's now 3 types of Amazons: ones that eat humans, ones that eat other Amazons, and ones that are able to eat both humans and other Amazons. And obviously, our boy Haruka is the 3rd type, while Jean is the 2nd type, Mamoru is the 1st type, and so. That's season 1. Time skip. We don't know how much time has skipped, but there is a teenager named Chihiro who could turn into an Amazon, and there's a bunch of humans who are turning into Amazons by drinking contaminated water. So there's some investigations going on, blah, blah, blah. It gets boring from here, and so there's a new extermination squad called C4, and one of their members is a dead girl named Ioi, who or EA, I forgot. But the point is, she witnessed her father turn into an Amazon and then kill her entire family, and she got traumatized from the situation, and her corpse was turned into an Amazon agent. She has no feelings, no emotions, and only selective memories. And obviously, both Chihiro and his best friend, who's among the few survivors of his friend group, and he's becomes Banjo in Kamen Rider build. The two of them try to restore her humanity to no avail, and meanwhile, Haruka is trying to get in touch with Mamoru so that they can make amends and, try to figure out a way for humans and Amazons to coexist, blah, blah, blah. And so that takes us to the previous episode. So what happens is Gene shows up, and it is revealed that he is Chihiro's father because apparently Nanaha got pregnant while his face was melted, and that caused her to have a half human, half Amazon baby. Of course, there was a falling out between Gene and Haruka, so that the two of them were conflicted as to whether or not the baby should live, because if the baby grows up in Amazon, then it is based on Gene's mission that he would have to exterminate his own son. So Nanaha and Chihiro went into Nanaha and Chihiro went to hiding after Chihiro was born. But Chihiro's aging rapidly, so even though Chihiro is now a teenager, he's actually only like 2 years old at most, maybe a few months old. Again, I don't know how long the time skip is. But Chihiro ends up accidentally killing his mom while they're asleep. At least it seems that way, because he has fully mutated into an Amazon. And it turns out that Chihiro might be patient 0 in this recent mutation of lysogenic cells. Now, it just so happens that the professor that was investigating Chihiro's cells happens to be the father of EU. So, yeah, everything came full circle, and now we're confronted with Gene, who's still alive. His face is no longer melted, but he's now blind. And that's where we are now. Okay, so with that summary of the last 21 episodes out of the way, let's go. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so father confronts his son. He's like, "You're an Amazon. I gotta kill you. I don't care if you're my son." And they fight it off, but they do manage to barely escape. Now here's the first thing that we're going to discuss. So, children eating their parents, parents eating their children. This is common in nature, believe it or not. There are certain species of arthropoda that once the children are born, they eat the flesh of their parents in order to gain their initial nutrients. While there's other species where the parents would actually eat their young and only the survivors would get to grow up. One noticeable fictional example is ogres from Shrek. Like Shrek, his dad tried to eat him on multiple occasions. He even mentioned that he bathed his son in barbecue sauce. Like, how does that even happen? But this seems like a much more serious issue because of the fact that these are humanoid characters, live action humanoid characters. So there's a little bit more at stake here. But this does raise some interesting rhetoric about the pro-life versus pro-choice debate. I really don't want to get into politics, obviously, but I know that people could very well use this as a thing. Because, for example, say if an embryo dies midway through development while it's still inside the womb, it can form a parasitic relationship with the parent, and not so much parasitic but tumorous. So it can cause problems for the mother to keep the dead embryo inside the body, while in other cases, sometimes a child can die during childbirth, or sometimes the parent can die during childbirth. I remember watching the show ER. I know it's a really old show. What's his name? I first watched it when George Clooney was in the main cast. But I remember I remember when I got back into watching NBC because I love The Office and My Name is Earl. It was the final season of the ER, and you got William H. Macy coming back and several other cast members. But in the final episode, there was a mother who had to give birth to twins, and she ended up dying from giving birth to the second twin. That was very tragic. But there's also another situation in Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro, where the main character's mom was pregnant and she was getting really sick. So then there was like the Generalissimo or whatever the villain's name is, he even told the doctor, like, if you're in a situation where you can only save the mother or the baby, I need you to save the baby. I'm like, damn. I mean, if I was a doctor, I'd try to save both of them, if I'm being honest. But also there comes a question, and this is a political question, but I only ask it rhetorically, not like as like a series, like, oh, this is a political discussion on a show about costume superheroes. But like in that situation, what is more morally ethical during childbirth? Like, is the mother's life more important because she's like a fully developed human who's lived her life and is able to like produce more children, or is the infant's life more important because, again, the mother already lived her life, the infant hasn't? Again, in an ideal world, they both would survive, but here it's like, it's just sad that like you got this teenage boy, like he's such a good kid, he's very innocent, but he has like these carnivorous cravings for humans to no fault of his own. He just happens to be born a hybrid Amazon and a mutant at that. So it's really sad that he ends up like killing his own mother in her sleep, at least allegedly. And his father wants to kill him because he's the very thing that he swore to destroy. So yeah, this is kind of a messed up scenario to be in. And I just want to go past it. And if Chihiro's luck can't get any worse, he's sent to the main office of the C4 organization, or is it 4C? And he's told, oh, you're patient zero. You're the reason why everyone's turning into an Amazon. But I didn't mean to do anything. It doesn't matter if you meant to do anything or not. You are patient zero. It's because you exist. Your very existence is the problem. And I'm thinking, how messed up is it to be told that a huge problem happening in society is just from the sheer process of one individual organism just burning glucose to make ATP? Just breathing is a problem. This is just painful. This is just painful for me to watch. And this is not even like the worst scene yet, but it's like, I'm gonna be honest, episode 22 is where, like, episode 22 of Amazons is the equivalent of episode 7 of Black Sun. Like, this is where things hit the fan. This is where things go from bad to worse, and it is just painful to watch. I did not enjoy watching it the first time around. I did not enjoy watching it again to get the screenshots, but here we are. Meanwhile, Makoto and Kota join Haruka's squad in order to confront Mamoru, because for some reason they need to confront Mamoru. This is his hideout, and he's not going to leave because it's hard to find another hideout. So you've got the two squads joining together for one final mission. And yeah, Shida is there too. Was that his name? Hold on. Give me a moment. Yeah, let's see. Pharmacy, pest control services. see. Kota. What is this? Okay, that's kind of weird. Okay, but yeah. So they team up to confront Mamoru, but meanwhile, Chihiro is sentenced to being cryogenically frozen. He leaves a cute little photo for EA to remember him by, and sorry, EU. Her name's EU. My bad. Yeah. So this is where we are at. This is where all hell breaks loose. He starts to panic to the point that he mutates into what could be best described as a spider-like creature. And I'm going to be honest with you, this scene is so incredibly gory. I was struggling to figure out which screenshots to even use to describe this scene. So the best way I could describe it is, if you've ever seen Spider-Man 2 and you've seen that scene where Otto Octavius's tentacles start killing all the doctors in that scene, and there's even a part where like it drags that one surgeon across the floor, and she's like scratching against the floor with her nails. Imagine this, but on crack. Like, because it's not just 4 arms, it is a lot of tendrils, and they are very visceral in how they kill off all the characters. It's like, you know how episode 7 of Black Sun is referred to as the Emmett Till episode? Well, I would call this the reverse Emmett Till episode, because, and I'm not trying to disrespect the memory of Emmett Till, like but still, it's like, this is the reverse of that. This is like, instead of having one person being lynched by a whole group of haters, you got one person lynching all of the haters, and is visceral extensively. And again, I had to be very picky with which screenshots to use for this, because I don't want to get demonetized. Well, we're not technically monetized, but I don't want to get struck in any kind of capacity by YouTube's terms and conditions. So yeah, we do get to see some brief images of this mutated form. He's got 6 arms, so he's kind of spiderish, and here's a close-up of his face. Looks really cool and creepy at the same time. It's like Man Spider from Spider-Man when he gets mutated, and he has like those 6 arms, and then he like turns into a full anthropomorphic spider, and like the only people who could fight him are Punisher and Blade. It was one or the other. Or was it both? I can't remember. But I know Blade was involved because Michael Morbius was the reason why Spider-Man was mutated in the first place. So yeah, both Blade and Punisher were involved in that 5-part episode. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, all these guys get picked off one at a time. Most of them are most of them are killed. Some of them are severely injured. Tachibana definitely dead. Like his body is cut in half. Like, it's not even cut in half. It's squeezed in half. It like Darth Maul was lucky because a lightsaber would catatize the the injury site, so he could technically live off of like not having legs, as long as like he gets that bag that I can't remember the proper term for it, but there's like this bag that you attach to your abdomen in order to excrete waste products when you don't have but the point is, But the point is here, it's like there's nothing keeping everything in there. He's just bleeding out. But he sends photos to Haruka's mom, who apparently is still alive. Like, we never really found out what happened to her, and there she is. Like there was probably a hostile takeover. I can't remember all the details. It's been a while, and I don't want to rewatch the first 21 episodes. But yeah, no, the president of C4, like, he gets severely injured, but he's still on life support at least. But Tachibana definitely dead, and honestly, I never liked Tachibana. Yeah, part of me was like, yeah, I'm not gonna have to learn certain characters' names in preparation for this review, but I still did. But for some reason, not all the names that I needed to. So, meanwhile, at Mamoru's hideout, everyone gets attacked by invisible projectiles, and of course, Shidai gets severely injured in this fight. And of course, we do see Mamoru transform, and some of his subordinates also transform. And we finally get to see Haruka use the Neo belts to become Neo Omega. And it looks all right. Here, he looks way more mechanical than... Hold on, let me take the banner off real quick. Yeah, here he looks way more mechanical than he does in the later episode. But, damn, like... But honestly, we don't really see much of his fighting to see how this form is superior to the previous one. I mean, it has to be somehow. I mean, otherwise, why would he use it? But the thing is, like, the only fight scenes we see of him in this scene is just basic melee combat. We don't see anything new added to the table. So, like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. So... And so C4 have a new weapon where like a single bullet killed a massive amount of Amazons. And as cool as this scene is, I actually respect these guys because that bullet could have went towards Mamoru because he's trying to protect this building for some reason. It's not explained why, but we have our suspicions. But everyone's like, no, Mamoru, you must live! And so these 5 take the hit in their place. And the thing is, the bullet only hit one Amazon, but all 5 of them died. That's how insane that weapon is. And I'm like, why don't you mass produce more of these? I know that in Chrono Crusade, which I've only seen the first episode of, there's like a special bullet that's like, that there's like a reason why there's only one bullet in that first episode. But dang, don't you wish sometimes that the extremely effective weapons could just be mass produced so that, you know, you could just get the job done more quickly? But yeah, that's basically where the episode ends. But before I rate the episode, I'm going to continue on to the next episode. Because honestly, these 2 episodes, you could just merge them together as a continuation of one another. So, what caused these invisible projectiles to attack everyone? Well, Haruka vaguely sees a silhouette of what appears to be a jellyfish Amazon. And so he chases after it, and one of the female soldiers joins in. I'm not 100% sure if it's Makoto or if it's the other girl, because I know there's like 2 female agents. But I think we see her in another scene though. Like I'm just like not 100% sure about it. But they do chase after her. Meanwhile, Chihiro's on the run. And so it turns out, yes, Haruka's mom is still alive, and they brought both Mamoru and Shido back to her base in order to get them both healed up. She's like, oh, I'm surprised that this is happening. But it is revealed that Yes, Chihiro is patient zero. He's the one who caused the outbreak of mutated Amazons. This was not caused by Nozama Pharmaceutical, and therefore, it wasn't created by Nozama Pharmaceutical, and therefore, it is not our problem to cover up. So you guys can exterminate with extreme prejudice. And also, EU was ordered by Takashi. Yes, see, I remembered a person's name even though I didn't want to. Takashi ordered EU to exterminate Chihiro. So we got two parties that want to kill Chihiro, and I think Mamoru's squad also want to get rid of him. But I think the main thing for Mamoru is he's upset with Haruka that he didn't kill off Jean, who is killing members of Mamoru's tribe. So, I think that's where the fallout really happened. But, they got to team up. Yeah. But yeah, pretty much between Jean, C4, and Nozama, we got three parties that are gunning for Chihiro. I feel sorry for this kid. And one thing that wasn't really brought up much was that the reason why Kota is a member of the extermination squad in the first place was because he uses the money to fund his mother's hospital bills because she is hospitalized. But then he finds out that his mom is not in her hospital bed. So he drives off looking for her, and it's revealed that, she mutated into an Amazon. What happened to Kota? Well, we're going to have to watch the next episode to find out, but I think this just continues to play to the theme of sons having to kill their mothers to live. It's sad, really. Because, it's not easy for, a child to kill their parent or for a child to be hunted down by their parent. Because, again, Nanaha was hunted by Chihiro when he was younger. Jean wants to hunt Chihiro. Everyone wants to hunt Chihiro. And now Kota has to hunt his own mom. How messed up is that? And let's not forget the mommy issues between Haruka and his mom. But I don't think he has any intention of killing her, though. But yeah, no, Chihiro, he's fighting with EU, and he's like, oh, so I'm no longer on the no-kill list. He barely manages to escape, and things could get worse. He is confronted by his dad, and he's like, yeah, you're an Amazon. I'm going to kill you. And they fight it off, and the only reason Chihiro was able to escape was because he was able to mutate into a spider form and just, push back on Jean. So, yeah, this poor kid. I don't completely, care for Chihiro as a character, but I do feel bad for his situation, and it's just sad that it's not until towards the last third of the season, not even the last third of the series, the last third of the season, the last 16% of the series that I'm starting to feel bad for Haruka, and not Haruka, for Chihiro, but it's just a messed up situation. Meanwhile, in the forest, Haruka finds this jellyfish monster. Naturally, he transforms. We do get a clear shot of this rider suit, but it is revealed that this jellyfish Amazon is actually Nanaha. So that happened. And that's it for these two episodes. Wow, we managed to cover it. No problem. So, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. What can I say about it? It is really intense. It's really intense. I just can't wait to just get these next 3 videos over and done with. So, I could just move Amazon just out of the way. Because again, I'm just struggling to watch these 2 episodes. Now, as far as these 2 episodes go, I give them 8 and 9 out of 10 respectively, because Episode 8. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Episode 22. Not much happens except for just the gory bloodbath. That's literally the highlight of the entire episode. Like most of the episodes, just this one sequence. Not much development is done other than, oh, maybe EU does care about him. Oh, but nope, she doesn't. She's still under brain control. She's gonna fight. She's gonna fight Chihiro now because he went full spider, and Chihiro doesn't even have time to process any of the bad things that happened to him. This poor kid. Yeah, and again, I still don't completely understand why are Mamoru and Haruka still fighting each other. It's like, I get it. Like, I get it. Gene is a jerk and he's killing Amazons, but you know, I think they could handle things a little bit better. And why are they even going after them in the first place? It doesn't seem like they are there for diplomatic reasons. But yeah. So not much to say about episode 22, but episode 23, the main thing is just like dealing with the aftermath of it. Like Chihiro's being hunted down by 3 different groups, and there's like no time to breathe or process this. So he's constantly panicking on the run. And honestly, given the themes of that, I can respect that because I love Metroid 5. I love Metroid 5. And honestly, this episode gave me Metroid 5 vibes where there's just no escaping from the Emmys, no matter how much you struggle. And the Emmys are coming. And they will be there eventually. The question is not if, but when. But this revelation that Nanaha is still alive, it's like, what do we even do with this? First of all, it's like, why is Mamoru protecting her? First of all, 2, how did she survive? And honestly, I'll say this. I'm surprised that episode 21 ended the way it did, because I would have thought that when Jean bit Nanaha when they were kissing in that earlier scene, I would have thought for sure she would have eventually mutated into an Amazon, and maybe like she would have been killed by Chihiro, not because he's hungry, but because he was acting in self-defense. Like, because she turned into an Amazon and she was hunting him down. He's like, "Mommy, why are you trying to kill me?" And then, like, out of instinct, he ends up killing her. Maybe that is what happened, but that's not what we saw in the flashback, because in the flashback, all we see is like 6 arms just like dragging her human body down, like the cover, like the DVD cover for Drag Me to Hell. So it's like we would have thought that Chihiro just straight up killed her just out of hunger. But no, it's possible that he killed her in self-defense. At least that's how I would have written it. But we don't see her transform, so we have no reason to suspect that she turned into an Amazon. But here she is. She's an Amazon. And now let's see how this plays out, how this will affect Jean, how this will affect Haruka, and how this will affect Chihiro. Oh, man, this woman cannot catch a break. This woman cannot catch a break. But also, why is Mamoru protecting her? Is it because he thinks that Jean is going to come after his own wife? Because we definitely did not see Jean in that scene. So why? But yeah, honestly, I think the revelation of Nanaha still being alive is more significant than anything else in the episode. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys thought. We only have 2 comments from the same person, so no contest today, but we'll still have one tomorrow. So here we go. Nice. Amazons is back. Yes, it is. And yeah, we only have 3 more videos after this one to finish it. So happy Halloween. Yeah, happy Halloween to you too. And that's it for Kamen Rider Amazons. If you enjoyed watching this video, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. Tuesdays, we're doing Ultraman Blazar. This week we did Blazar on Monday because it's Halloween. So Tuesdays, we do Ultraman Blazar 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Pacific and Eastern. And all of our time zones are going to be Pacific and Eastern. Just giving you a heads up just to expedite the process. Wednesday, Kamen Rider Gotchard, 7:30, 10:30. Thursday, Osama Sentai King Oger, 7:30, 10:30 p.m. And Saturdays, we have Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, 5:30, 8:30. We're going to continue Amazons on Sundays. So, that's going to be our schedule. I haven't decided on what time we're going to set it for, but that's why you should ding the bell icon so you know when it's going to be, when it's finally going to be there. And of course, this week we are still running the contest. So you have we have 3 days left, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, to win Ranger Stop tickets. So tune in, comment in the chat box in order to be eligible. Then answer the Power Rangers questions that we ask you to win those tickets. I know it's super last minute. We only have a week left. That's why this is the last week, because the week after is the actual thing. So, with that in mind, please comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And also check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we will discuss movie reviews, video game news. We're hopefully going to do some more movies in these next 2 months. We just haven't decided what they will be yet, but it will be done. Don't worry about it. We're going to do it. And, of course, if you want to find my personal content, you could find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. With all that said, guys, I hope you all have a happy Halloween on behalf of the Morphin Network. Stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kits, hug your loved ones, and, just enjoy your time with your loved ones while wearing your costumes, whether you're staying at home watching a scary movie or going out to trick or treat or going to a party or a concert. Just make the most of this day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.